Welcome to the Savant ADC video training series. My name is Jim, and in this video you will learn how to install the Savant ADC server components using the installation program. If you're ready to roll, let's get to it. The Savant ADC server must have the following requirements: IIS version 7 or newer, and SQL Server 2008, or optionally SQL Server Express 2008. SQL Server must be installed with mixed authentication mode and case-insensitive collation. If a previous install of SQL Server does not meet these requirements, then you need to install a second instance of SQL Server with the required configuration. The ADC server will also need to have the .NET Framework 4.0 and the Crystal Reports runtime engine. If the .NET Framework or Crystal runtime engine are not installed, the ADC program will automatically install these applications. To assist you with the installation process, the user documentation contains a Savant ADC pre-installation worksheet, which you should use to document all of the information necessary to successfully install the product. The information needed to install Savant ADC requires knowledge of your Windows network and SQL Server environments. If you do not know the required information, you will need to consult with your network or database administrator prior to the install. During the next few minutes, I'm going to step through the actual installation of the Savant ADC application. In this install, Crystal Reports and the .NET Framework are already installed, so the Savant ADC Setup Wizard welcome screen is displayed. Click on the Next button. The next screen requires you to read and accept the Savant ADC End-User License Agreement. After you have read the agreement and want to accept its terms, click on the Accept button and then click the Next button. If you choose not to accept the terms, click on that option and the installation will end. Savant ADC must first be installed on the server, and then on individual clients. In our video example, we will be selecting the server install. Simply clicking on the server button will move you to the next screen. In a typical server installation, you will be loading both the application and the database. Click on the desired features, and then click the Next button. Savant installs some services onto the server. In order for this to occur, you will need to enter a combination of a domain or computer name and a user. The user entered needs to be an administrator. In our example, I have created an administrative user called service_user. You will also need to enter a password for that user. To load the database files, you will need to enter the name of your SQL Server instance. Savant will create a database name called Savant ADC. However, you can change this name if desired. You will also need to enter the password of the SA user. You can accept the default folder, which is recommended, or browse to select or create a new folder for the application files. If you are satisfied with your selection, click the Install button, or you can click the Back button to recheck your selections. While the installation is running, we always appreciate your feedback. So take this time to send an email to the president of Savant Software describing your experiences using our training videos. You also might want to mention that Jim needs a significant raise. Your help is greatly appreciated. Well, it looks like the Savant ADC loaded successfully. Click the Finish button to end the installation program. The installation of the Savant ADC was fairly straightforward. The next step is to activate the product for use. In this next step, you will need your license key. When the activation process is complete, you will be prompted to log on to the system. The default user for the initial login is sysadmin. In order to activate the Savant ADC product, you will need to run the program. I am launching the program by clicking on the Savant ADC icon on my desktop. When you first run the Savant ADC application, an error message will be displayed telling you that your license key has been corrupted. While this message may seem intimidating, the application is simply notifying you that a valid license key couldn't be found. Click the OK button to move on. The next screen will prompt you to enter your activation key. The activation key was emailed to the main contact you supplied on your order form. Do a copy-paste of the license key in the text box and click OK. If the license key entered is correct, you will then be asked to log onto the system. Savant provides a default operator ID and site. Enter the operator ID sysadmin. The initial default configuration does not require a user password, so the password prompt is not accessible. The default site is called main warehouse. Accept that default and click OK. The Savant ADC program has now been installed successfully, and you have logged on. You are now ready to set up and configure your warehouse environment. Have fun. While we have tried to make installing Savant ADC as simple as possible, our testing and feedback from the user community has identified some common issues related to the installation process. First, make sure that you have filled out and confirmed the information on the pre-installation worksheet. Second, make sure that the IIS and SQL Server services are up and running. This can be accomplished in several ways by running the IIS and SQL Server Management Consoles or checking the services via the Administrative Tools folder. Finally, we recommend that Savant ADC is loaded onto a dedicated server, but sometimes that just isn't an option. If the Savant ADC is loaded onto a server where other applications are being used, you might encounter conflicts with Crystal and the .NET framework. These conflicts can be frustrating to resolve and might require direct communications with multiple software vendors. Be patient and contact Savant's support team to assist with any problems. With a successful install, the next video training series will guide you through the setup and configuration of Savant ADC. Thank you for viewing the Savant ADC video training series. For more information, contact Savant Software at 855-236-9083. You can email us at support@savantwms.com or visit our website at www.savantwms.com.